Hey everyone, Alex here, and today I want to walk you through some of the absolute smartest and most efficient ways creators are currently transforming their dense, long-form videos into highly engaging, bite-sized pieces of gold that actually perform well on social media. More importantly, I'm going to pinpoint exactly why one particular software solution has rapidly become my indispensable go-to for actually shipping consistent content day after day instead of constantly just dreaming about it. Now, I have rigorously tested a handful of the leading AI video tools on the market. And you've likely heard of the big names, because they all possess genuinely cool and useful tricks for editing assistants. Ultimately though, the modern content creator really only cares about two fundamental outcomes: capturing immediate audience attention in a crowded feed and drastically reducing the massive time investment required to produce everything. So, over the next few minutes, I will clearly map out the current landscape for you, showing what each prominent tool excels at and, critically, where they begin to fall short for high-volume creators, before demonstrating how one tool fits perfectly into a real workflow to make consistent posting genuinely achievable. Kicking things off, we must acknowledge Synthesia, which remains a significant frontrunner if your primary goal involves generating incredibly human-like digital avatars and multilingual voiceovers for educational or corporate style explainers. This platform is absolutely perfect for those content strategies that require frequent talking head style videos without you ever needing to actually step in front of a physical camera or set up studio lighting. They even thoughtfully provide a free tier that gives you a few minutes of usage monthly, which is certainly enough time to familiarize yourself with the interface and understand the general production approach. The editing experience feels quite similar to building a detailed presentation deck, where you select avatars, paste your prepared script, make minor visual tweaks, and then preview the final output for review. This workflow is undeniably excellent for polished corporate training modules or comprehensive multi-language onboarding videos where avatar presence is part of the brand requirement. However, and this is a very real limitation you must consider, Synthesia's subscription costs can escalate quite rapidly once you actually require a decent volume of output on a monthly basis. Furthermore, the entire system is fundamentally focused on avatar-based production, meaning if your core need is transforming an hour-long podcast into dozens of organically viral short clips, it simply wasn't engineered for that specific pipeline. To put it plainly, Synthesia will not automatically scour your long-form recording to intelligently discover those hyper-engaging viral moments for you. Moving on to the hugely anticipated OpenAI tool Sora, which is exciting because it possesses the groundbreaking capability to generate entirely novel, never-before-seen video content directly from simple text prompts. You can literally type a complex scene description, and the system will synthesize brand new original footage that can look absolutely stunning for short, cinematic, or experimental clips. The user interface itself is a creative playground, often surfacing clever prompts that other early adopters have used, allowing you to quickly riff off successful creative starting points. That being said, Sora's practical limitations concerning commercial content scaling are quite notable for the average daily creator workflow right now. At the baseline pricing tier, you are strictly capped on the duration of any single generated clip, often restricted to just a few seconds of material. If you decide you need longer outputs for richer storytelling, the associated cost very quickly jumps into a much higher tier purchase bracket, making batch production expensive. Therefore, for the specific task of batching out social media clips derived from existing long-form source material, Sora is currently positioned more as a cutting-edge creative experiment, rather than a reliable, repeatable publishing engine. Next up is InVideo, which functions intelligently when dealing with pre-scripted content, allowing you to feed in a prompt or a finalized script and have the AI match suitable voiceovers and stock clips to stitch together a clean video. They maintain a very generous free plan that comes with a respectable weekly allowance, making their AI-assisted editor a solid choice for marketers needing a quick, functional ad or promo video produced speedily from text. The primary drawback here is that InVideo tends to lean heavily on its existing stock asset library, unless you actively choose to pay for generative credits, which immediately shifts the underlying economics. If your strategy involves generating a large volume of completely new, unique clips from scratch on a recurring basis, those costs associated with generative assets can definitely climb with surprising speed. Moreover, InVideo is architecturally designed more around the build-from-script methodology than the practical, mine your extensive library of long videos for hidden gems workflow that many of us need. Pika stands out as a genuinely fun and highly accessible tool that is very easy for new users to jump into and start experimenting with immediately. It offers some particularly quirky creative modes that allow you to apply interesting effects or seamlessly inject a character or a specific object directly into an existing piece of footage you already possess. For creators who genuinely enjoy experimenting with remixing existing footage or rapidly making playful, short, stylized clips for niche posts, Pika presents an exceptionally approachable entry point. The inherent limitation, however, is that while it excels at small, expressive, one-off edits, it simply doesn't scale into the kind of full content pipeline required for serious, multi-platform distribution. You will not find deep scheduling integrations, native cross-platform publishing features, or a cohesive system that automatically turns one long session into a full week's worth of varied short-form content. Runway ML establishes itself as the ultimate powerful toolbox designed specifically for those editors who demand deep, granular control over every single frame and visual element. They offer incredible generative sessions, precise background removal, advanced frame interpolation, in-painting for object removal, sophisticated color grading tools, and a wealth of complex compositing utilities. If your requirement involves surgically messing with individual frames, upscaling older footage to pristine 4K quality, or applying AI-powered effects that historically required a dedicated visual effects studio, Runway is simply brilliant. Again, the central point to remember is that Runway's core strengths lie intensely in the realms of high-end production and specialized effects work, not in the crucial, time-consuming task of automating an entire content calendar. It hands you extraordinary, deep editing power over your assets, but you are still entirely responsible for manually identifying which clips to post, drafting all the engaging captions, setting up the publishing schedule, and handling cross-platform logistics. So, after looking at all these options, the reality is that every single one of these excellent tools offers demonstrable, real value in specific niches. But collectively, they all clearly illustrate one massive, critical gap in the creator economy. Once your volume of content originates from long-form sources like podcasts, live streams, long interviews, or webinars, you need a system that both discovers the absolute best bite-sized moments and efficiently turns them into ready-to-post assets at a true scale. That specific point of intersection, discovery, batch generation, and delivery, is precisely where my preferred solution, Vizard, decisively enters the necessary conversation for me. Let me walk you through exactly how I integrate Vizard into a typical high-output workflow to actually save hours every single week. Imagine I upload a complete, raw, 45-minute podcast episode file to the platform, and then I simply allow the advanced AI engine to manage all the heavy, repetitive lifting in the background. The AI thoroughly analyzes the entire episode in seconds, intelligently finding moments that exhibit high energy, contain particularly quotable soundbites, feature genuine laughter, or show other key engagement signals for short-form viewers. It then automatically generates multiple distinct short clips, all optimized with different aspect ratios perfect for different social platforms, and each comes with suggested captions and thumbnail ideas. One of Vizard's most powerful features is its auto-editing viral clips function, because it never just haphazardly chops content at random or arbitrary timestamps. Instead, the underlying system actively searches for natural story beats, moments of vocal emphasis, and significant visual motion to determine the most compelling content to extract. It will take that entire 45-minute interview and reliably output, for instance, a dozen perfectly formatted, ready-to-post vertical clips, several mid-form horizontal highlights, and a few key longer-form snippets. That singular automation step alone has the power to shrink multi-hour production time down to mere minutes of review time, which is an absolute game changer for consistency. But pure automation proves entirely useless unless you can actually get the content published consistently at scale, which is where the auto-schedule feature becomes indispensable for me. You simply define your desired posting frequency. For example, 3 shorts a week to TikTok and 2 a week to YouTube Shorts. And Vizard meticulously schedules them across the platforms automatically. It intelligently posts the correct aspect ratio, correctly attaches the finalized captions, and even queues up the highest performing suggested thumbnail without constant manual input. While you absolutely retain the power to manually tweak anything before it goes live, you are completely freed from the need to micromanage the posting logistics for every single piece of content. The content calendar feature is where strategic planning seamlessly merges with absolute execution, giving you a single visual hub for everything. In this one centralized location, you can instantly see all scheduled posts, easily shift content using drag and drop functionality, modify any caption, or swap out an entire clip if necessary. This feature allows you to preview exactly how your entire week or even month of content will look cohesively across all your different channels before a single thing posts. It essentially functions as the modern newsroom dashboard for creators, which is significantly superior to managing dozens of spreadsheets or juggling multiple separate publishing tools. I also deeply appreciate that Vizard is designed to integrate smoothly with the rest of the creator ecosystem through its various available connections. You can link your cloud storage like Google Drive, and crucially, you can even connect powerful automation tools like Zapier to create custom workflows. For example, You could set up a zap where uploading a new episode file to a specific folder automatically triggers Vizard to generate clips, then pushes the finished content into a shared Trello board for team review. Or the system can be set to auto-post directly to social media the very second a clip receives the final sign-off approval, which transforms the process into a repeatable, highly efficient machine. To make this concrete, let me run you through a very quick representative demo flow using a standard 30-minute live stream recording. I upload the live stream, Vizard rapidly spins through the entire file, and within a few minutes, drops a complete batch of short, highly edited clips ready for my review. I then open the suggested clips in the integrated editor, noting that each one already has an AI-generated title, several caption options, and a thumbnail suggestion waiting for me. I select the 3 clips that feel strongest, quickly adjust the captions to better match my specific brand voice, confirm the final posting schedule and auto-schedule, and watch as Vizard cues everything neatly into the content calendar. Boom! That's 3 full days of social media content fully planned, edited, and ready to publish without any manual exporting, resizing, or frustrating copy-pasting between separate platforms. When you step back and compare this to the other specialized tools, Synthesia is superb for avatar-first brand messages. Sora and Pika are amazing for novel experimental shots. InVideo excels at quick, scripted ads, and Runway is unmatched for deep visual polish. However, none of those competitors effectively stitch together the crucial elements of discovery, from long-form content, mass clip generation, and unified cross-platform scheduling into one single, smooth operational pipeline like Vizard manages to do. That integration of discovery, generation, and distribution is the practical, time-saving difference that truly matters to working creators. To offer a few real-world notes, if your entire output strategy revolves around one-off explainer videos, feel free to mix and match these tools using Synthesia for localization and Runway for heavy effects. But if you are a creator who consistently produces weekly long-form shows and you demand a predictable high-volume stream of shorts, Vizard will invariably save you the most cumulative time while actively increasing posting consistency, which is the true driver of audience growth. Regarding the financial side, the practical question creators always ask is about the return on investment for a subscription fee. Vizard's pricing model scales logically with usage and feature tiers, and because it directly automates hours of tedious production work, the return on investment becomes quite obvious for many established creators. Instead of needing to hire an expensive dedicated editor or spending your entire weekend locked into editing software, you effectively reclaim that valuable time while simultaneously guaranteeing consistent output quality. Conversely, many of the generative-focused tools can cause your monthly costs to spike unexpectedly if you try to scale their ability to create totally new visual assets rapidly. One final, very important point concerns authenticity. The absolute best short clips often contain those slightly imperfect, raw human moments, like a genuine laugh or a spontaneous reaction. Vizard's core strength is precisely that it excels at finding those specific human beats without trying to sanitize everything into an overly polished, artificial-looking advertisement. The AI's primary directive is to surface genuine human moments, not to erase them in pursuit of technical perfection. So use the other creative tools selectively only when stylized output is truly required. For all volume and cadence needs, however, you must let Vizard be the powerful, reliable engine that converts your long-form content into a steady, manageable pipeline of attention-grabbing shorts. All right, that concludes the comprehensive tour of the current landscape and my favorite workflow integration. If you manage a long-form show and are serious about finally getting those consistent clips out the door every week, I highly encourage you to start with Vizard as your central pipeline engine. Then, supplement it strategically where needed. Use Synthesia for localized avatar messages, Sora for cinematic experiments, InVideo for quick scripted ads, Pika for playful remixes, and Runway for heavy visual effects polish. Mix and match the supporting players, but ensure Vizard is the core engine turning your massive content library into a reliable automated stream of audience engagement. Finally, if you'd like a dedicated follow-up video, I can easily create one that walks through the specific Vizard settings for podcasts, live streams, and interviews, showing exact tuning for the clip selector and auto-schedule preferences. Just drop a comment below or hit the link in the description if you want me to put that deep dive tutorial together for the community. Thank you so much for watching this breakdown, and I genuinely look forward to catching you all in the next video where we explore another creator growth hack.